Like it a bit more subtle, but at the moment there's hardly anything going on here. Like all the trees are dead still. But, you know, it was the same for me 2 weeks ago at state champs. So you have to be able to throw in any conditions. It's an outside sport, and then that's what happens. So you have to be able to make it fly and make it spin. So, you know, come World Championships, we're in a stadium, there is no wind. So for me, like I demand a high standard of myself. So, you know, I'm not 100% happy with tonight, but, you know, conditions are great. They're good for running. You know, that there's no wind advantage or disadvantage. So, but for us, we really need to make it spin.
Yeah, and it is that high standard that obviously has given you the results that you've got over the years at all the majors and all the nationals. So we wish you all the luck leading into nationals in Sydney in a couple of weeks. Hopefully you lock that away, get the automatic, and we'll see you in London.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Thanks for that. Back to you, Lynchy.
Thank you, Benny. Now, underway during that is the start of the women's 5,000 metres. This is a national championship. And from the inside, wearing hip number 1, Courtney Hopkins. In 2, Audrey Mia Hall. 3, Bridie Delaney, who won the national title in the 10,000 metres at Zatopek. In 4, Gemma Maney. In 5, Heidi C., the 2-time national champion over 1,500. So she's really stepping up here. In 6, Jessica Trengove, Rio representative and bronze medalist in Glasgow over the marathon. So she's stepping down a whole 37 kilometres. 7, Anna Kelly. In 8, Leanne Pompiani. 9, Jackie Lee Soden. 10, Karina Fife. 11, Emily Ryan. 12, Paige Campbell. And 13, Henrietta Lawrence. So just leading the pack there, it's Gemma Maney, followed by C, Trengove and Delaney and Campbell.
Stretch out a little.
The pack still there. All the athletes strung out. No one taking the pace too hard. So I think we might see a sprint finish. If it is a sprint, it's probably going to fall into Heidi C's hands there. Trengrove, the marathoner. Delaney, winner over the 10. She's won 3K national titles and got very close on 800s and 1500s. So she's got a good range. Paige Campbell there tucked in. I think the Raiders might have just scored as well. You can hear the cheers from the stadium. The Sharks versus the Raiders is about maybe 60 metres from the discus cage. So I'm sure if the discus cage was pointed a different direction, Danny could probably throw one over the posts. But still got the pace going through. And still Maney out in front. You can see them starting to stretch, and they're starting to drop a couple of athletes now. But no one's taking control of this race. Maney, C, Trengove, Delaney, Campbell. And it looks like Anna Kelly just tucked in there as well. And they come around into the home straight. They have 10 laps and 100 metres left. No, 9 laps, sorry, my mistake. So 3,600 metres left. No dramatic changes in positioning. They all seem pretty comfortable at the moment. We have seen a pack there of around 9 athletes now separate from the field. So the pace has turned up. This is for a national title. The time we're looking for, if any of these athletes want to qualify, 15:22.00, which is Pretty fast. If someone wants to use the hashtag SUMMERofATHS and then tell us what kind of pace they're on, that'd be awesome. Still Maney doing all the hard work out in front. Anna Kelly now moving up. But it's still Maney, C, Trengove, Delaney, Campbell, Kelly. With 8 to go.
So 8 laps to go. Still Maney the leader. C in second. Trengove there. Paige Campbell moving around the outside. Bridie Delaney.
We'll be able to see a 2K split here very shortly. Angus Armstrong now, last attempt, 5:45. A good attempt. That was going for a PB. There's new heights for Angus. They go through 6:22.77. That's their official split.
2,000 metres. Puts them on 15:55.
It's 15:55 pace. I've just worked it out. So they might need to quicken it up if they want to qualify for the World Champs, but this is a national title as well. We see Delaney there's been dropped, and it's now Maney, C, Trengove, and Campbell. Obviously pretty quick at calculations. A bit of a maths whiz.
Former national champion at 1,500 metres in second position.
And they might have seen that 2K split and are starting to wind it up.
Big representative in third. New South Wales, Paige Campbell moves into fourth.
Still a good crowd here, hanging around for these 5,000 metre championships. We've got a big field in the guys' race, 23. We even had a B race earlier with 8 athletes in that, so obviously it would have been a bit too crazy to put 31. That would have been too many athletes out on the track. But here they go. These 4 athletes now have got a good 20-metre gap now back to the chase pack, and that's all Maney pulling the pace here. Trengove still tucked in there. Holly Campbell might just be dropping off a little bit. C looks very comfortable. Let's see if she can add a 5,000 metre title to the 1,500 metre titles that she has.
So 6 laps to go. Still Maney. C second. Trengove.
Maney has done a 16:22
A big race here.
so far this year. PB of 15:56.51.
Kelly leads the second.
Heidi C's got a PB of 16:09.10. She did in Raleigh in Carolina.
Leanne Pompiani.
Trengrove's got a 15:58. And Paige Campbell a 16:20. So the first 3 athletes have all cracked 16 before. Campbell, they're just starting to... Oh, there goes Trengrove. She's made a little bit of a move. This is probably the first move we've seen here. And they've really pulled away now. There's a good 30 to 40 metres back to 5th place. Campbell might have just getting dropped off here. The pace a bit too strong. Obviously with a PB some 20 seconds off the others. But Trengove, very, very comfortable.
So the pace is quickened as we move towards the 3,000 metre mark.
$9.35 there through 3,000 metres. 2K left.
And Jessica Trengove moves to the front.
Now Trengove moving out to the front.
Maney's still there.
C and Maney still there. But now Trengove out in the lead. And I've just had
Having the race of her life.
Mr. Offerins is joining us now. He's been down trackside all afternoon and evening, and now he's back up in the commentary box, and you've got some results to go through.
Yeah, Lynchy, I've just come back from the women's long jump ambulant final, where we had actually a fantastic competition down there. So just running through results, we've got Anna Stevens with a best jump of 3:46, Sarah Walsh with a best jump of 5:05, Erin Cleaver with a jump of 4:59, Alyssa Jordan with a jump of 4:33, equaling her jump with a 4:43 as well as Taylor Doyle. We've got Jodie Elkington-Jones with a jump of 4:23, but the highlight of the night for this event, we've actually got a world record, Lynchy, a world record.
We had an Australian record before, but the world record's a bit bigger.
It's Holly Saunders from New South Wales, is a T35 class, and she's jumped 266. The old world record was 229.
Smashed it!
Yeah, smashed it. And for those just playing at home, every single jump she did tonight broke that world record. So that was set back in 2014, so the record's now 3 years old, but she's absolutely annihilated it. So she's come out here and jumped 266, which again, leading to this track, I know I harp on about it, but I can't stop it.
There's a bit of bias.
A little. But we've now got a world record on this track. So I'll take that. I'll tell you what, I'll be letting everyone know.
Qualifiers, world records, Australian records, delivered.
It has. It's been a fantastic competition. And obviously we're not over yet. We've still got the women's 5K national champs currently going around at the moment. They're at that 11:40 mark. But honestly, there's been a lot of highlights tonight, and it's fantastic to finally see some athletes getting these world champs qualifiers and booking their tickets to London, because obviously we want to make sure we have a big team.
We certainly do want to have a giant team. As we see Trengove and see, it's a race in two now, the marathoner versus the 1,500 metre runner, and they're meeting at the 5K. So it'll be very interesting to see I'd like to see a sprint finish between these two.
Yeah, I always love to see a sprint finish. I don't know whether that's, again, being biased because we are sprinters, but it makes it exciting. You know, obviously, sometimes if someone's on world record pace, you don't mind them pulling away from the rest of the field and really just making a race of it that way. But when it comes down to championship racing like this, we always love to see a sprint finish.
It's just that grit and determination, who wants it more. I always remember the 10K from Sydney Olympics, Gebra Selassie, that sprint finish. I'm pretty sure they rolled through in like almost sub-12 for that last 100.
Yeah, it's amazing how fast some of these distance runners can actually run over the 100 metres, you know. You think they can't do it, but then you see them at the end of a 10K.
Yeah, you give them a 9.9 kilometre roll in, and they can do it.
It's honestly, it's astonishing with some of these, and even the last 400 metre lap.
Oh, ridiculous.
You're getting 52 splits at a 10K in the last 400 metres. So I think it's amazing what these distance runners can do. And I've actually been doing a little bit of training with distance runners lately. And depending on
that's what happens when you get older.
Yeah,
you move out in distance.
You can't do the high intensity stuff anymore. But when you have the sessions where it's a longer distance, I can't keep up.
No.
I cannot keep up. But as soon as I get that session where the speed starts to be injected a little bit, that's where I can obviously get mine back. So I'm enjoying it for those.
So 800 metres to go. The clock ticks 13:28. It's still Trengove, followed by C.
Yeah, just before this race finishes up now, pole vault. Obviously, I was looking forward to this one. Curtis Marshall, obviously in shape, 570 coming in. But he had made his first at 520, passed the next, and then they had to actually pull out. Wasn't feeling great. Not sure exactly what's going on. You saw him walking around, so I don't think it's anything serious.
Just a safety first
But
thing.
it may be a safety first thing, so I was actually looking forward to seeing him go high. But Angus Armstrong was the one that ended up taking out the event in 5:35. He just missed his last jump on 5:45. Would have been a PB for him, which would have been fantastic to see, another PB. But he just quite couldn't get there. He had the height, but just maybe the stands may have been a little close.
Yeah,
came
just
down on top of
when
it.
you're seeing that bar for the first time at a new height, it's obviously intimidating. But we see Heidi C, really, she's gone early with about 500 metres to go, and this is that speed that we were talking about. Obviously, Trengove, a marathon runner against a two-time national champion 1,500 metre runner.
Yeah, she's obviously showing that she has got the speed over Trengove. But I wouldn't count Trengove out yet. She's going to be solid, so she's going to be even the whole way. Obviously, C has to make sure she hasn't gone too early, but she's a smart runner. I don't think she's going to be in too much trouble. She'll start to move away now, and we'll have to wait for the time as she comes further around into the home straight.
So we've got 16.09's the PB currently for Heidi C, and Jess Trengrove's a 15.58, and I think we might see both of those girls beat those times. 250 metres to go. She won the national title in a sprint finish in 2015, won it again in 2016 for the 1500, and she's got 200 metres left, and she's put about 50 metres on Trengrove right now. Qualifying time's 15.22, but I don't think we'll see that today, as it obviously already clicks to 15.30. But we'll see Heidi do her first sub-16, and this will put her in the box seat. She's a national champ. If she wants to do the qualifier again at another time.
Exactly. It gives you that leg up on the rest of the athletes. So if we have 3 people, or say 4 or 5 people go and run this time, she's in the box seat having that national
title. 15,
that's absolutely important.
51.99. Easy running there. Trengrove won't beat her PB, but it'll be a very handy 16. And it looks like Holly Campbell will take out... Oh, Paige Campbell, sorry. Holly Campbell's her identical twin sister. But they're 16.10. She's cut off 10 seconds and got herself a national bronze medal.
Yeah, it's a fantastic run by her. Obviously, she'll be stoked with that, taking home the bronze. Anytime you get yourself up on the podium, obviously it's a fantastic achievement and something you'll remember for a very long time. And also to come here, I know I've done it a lot, but another PB.
Another PB.
We're just knocking them off here.
And it's not known for its distance prowess.
Yeah, obviously it's one of those things where the distance runners usually don't love coming here. We are at a little bit of altitude, not much. We're about that 600 metre mark, and it's. You speak to someone and they say that's probably the point where you start saying, hey, it could affect us a little bit. But obviously it's not affecting him here tonight. And I've just come from out there. It's perfect conditions. You cannot get better than this. There's not an ounce of breeze. And if you look at the flags over on the bottom bend, and they're not even moving. So you cannot complain with how the conditions are right now. They're still fairly warm. Not too hot for these distance runners because obviously they don't love the heat. But it's that perfect temperature where you can come out here and do some pretty good performances.
Yeah, it's great stuff here right now, and obviously we need the lights to be a little bit strong, if we waited any longer. I think we just might have flicked them on a little bit too late.
Yeah, they do take a little bit of time to warm up. But also, obviously, we've got GIO Stadium, and you said the Raiders and Cronulla are over the other side playing their game, and it looks like they're taking all the charge from our lights.
Yeah, that might be. We're just getting our lights drained from that game over the other side. And very tight at the moment. It's 8-4 to Cronulla.
Yeah, it's good to see my Sharkies up. I was pretty happy with that win.
I'm surprised you're not over there. It's not often you get the Sharks in the nation's capital.
That's the thing. I put my number one sport first. I love my track and field, so I'm not going to miss this. And obviously, I can actually hear it. So
yeah, you can enjoy it.
I'm still feeling it. I was down at the pole vault before, and you can hear the crowd roaring, and it gave you that sense that we were in this stadium that had a bit of a crowd around it, which was actually a nice little feeling. It's similar to you get at obviously all the major.